Today we will take a look at the basic functions of the Embraco Scroll Selector software, including how to select a compressor and how to export technical information like datasheets, drawings, polynomial coefficients for simulating, and more. First, let's go to the Customer Configuration tab. One of the options here is for the unit setup of the software. Here you can choose whether you want Celsius or Fahrenheit, BTUs per hour or watts, or Pascal or PSI. For now, I'll keep it in metric. Now, let's see how to select a compressor model. In the product list on the left side of the screen, you can find all the models available on the selection software. In the left tabs, I can choose different types of grouping by application, power source, refrigerant, and platform. You can go through the product list to find the desired model, but it's easier if you set your filters. You can choose the compressor's application, the compressor's technology, the compressor's design power source, the compressor's platform, and the refrigerants to be used. Let's choose an example. For the application, I'll choose high temperature compressors for air conditioning. In the scroll type, I won't choose anything. It will standard as all technologies. For power type, I'll choose 208 to 230 volts, one-phase and three-phase compressors in 60 Hz. The platform defines what is the capacity range of the compressor, from lowest to highest. Each capacity range has a different external shell. Let's keep all the platforms in. By not selecting anything, it's standard to all. For the refrigerant, I'll choose R454B and R32. After selecting the filters, click on Refresh List. Now, the list shows only the models that correspond to the filters. Let's extend the groups to take a look. If you double-click on one of the models, you can see more technical information on it. Another option for choosing a model is to use the Compressor Search tab. Here you can filter the compressor's specification and select a capacity in a specific operating condition. Let's make an example. I want an HC high temp model for 208 to 230 volts, three-phase 60 Hz compressor. For R54B and R32, running in 60 Hz. Now we have to choose the operating condition, either by selecting a specific temperature or by choosing one of the standards available in the software. Finally, let's choose a capacity and an error margin. Let's go with 12,000 kilowatts. Click on Search and all the models that fit the chosen parameters will be shown here, together with some near misses. You can choose to export this list to your computer, so you can save all the models that fit your project. To do this, click on the Export button. Now, let's get some more information on one of the models. Let's choose EAF42B D1. To do this, double-click on the line of the model. If you go back to the Single Point tab, you can see the screen has refreshed and technical data for the EAF42B D1 has appeared. On the main screen, we can see the compressor's operating envelope and its performance data. In the top right, you can select the compressor's operating condition. Let's go through each one of them. First, you have evaporating and condensing temperatures. You can also choose to select by pressures by checking the by pressure box. For this example, let's go by temperature. Next, you have the superheat and subcooling of the compressor. If instead of superheat you want to select by suction temperature or return gas temperature, you can just check the constant suction temperature box. If you prefer, you can also choose one of the standard operating conditions available in the software. As an example, I'll use ARI for AC compressors. If you click on Calculate, you can see the compressor's performance data, including its cooling capacity, input power, coefficient of performance, mass flow through the compressor, amps, isentropic efficiency, discharge temperature, liquid temperature of the system, and compressor's heating capacity. If you click on Report, you will receive a summary of the information on the screen, including the performance in the chosen operating point. To download this to your computer, click on Export and select one of the formats. You can also export a performance matrix for the compressor on the Full Matrix tab. By clicking on Calculate, we will generate a matrix with all the parameters for the compressor, including cooling capacity, input power, amps, mass flow through the compressor, coefficient of performance, and isentropic efficiency. This is shown for different evaporating and condensing temperatures, considering the superheat and subcooling you selected on the single point tab. So for this table, the superheat is 11.1 Kelvin and 8.3 Kelvin. To save this in a file, click on the Export button. Other information that you can find are in the different tabs are a drawing of the compressor, a wiring diagram of the compressor, a system schematic, and the compressor available accessories. Most of this information you can export by going to the Save option. You can also export a file without this information anymore by going on the Utility Tools tab and choosing Export Specification File. Here you have two options. By selecting Export Specification File, a datasheet of the current selected compressor will be exported to your computer. In this case, it's EAF42BD1. To change the folder in which the datasheet will be exported to, go to Customer Configurations and select Specification File Safe Path. There, you can choose the folder you want in your computer. Going back to the export specification file, you can also choose to export many datasheets at a single time using batch export. Here, you have the same options available on the filter list, plus a bill of material specifier. If you're in doubt about what BOM to choose, you can talk to your NIDEC technical support, sales engineer, or sales contact, or just select all. Don't worry, the software will not export a file for each BOM in this list, only for the available BOMs of each model. By selecting the options on the screen and clicking on Export, the datasheets for all the compressors that fall into these specifications will be exported. Additionally, you can export polynomial coefficients to simulate the compressor's performance in the Export Coefficients options in the Utility Tools tab. Here, you can also choose whether you like to export for the compressor selected in the Single Point tab or for multiple models. If you choose for a single compressor, you can select for which performance parameters you want to export the coefficients for, depending if it's capacity, mass flow rate, power input, running amps, or volume flow rate. It is very important that you select for which superheat and subcooling you want to simulate the compressor's performance. You can also select whether your simulated parameters will be given in imperial units, like BTUs per hour in Fahrenheit, or metric units, like watts in Celsius. That will be it for this tutorial. Not all capabilities of the selection software were explained here, so if you want more information, contact your NIDEC technical support or sales engineer. Thanks for watching.